Hello everyone and welcome to Webcam Wrestling's Royal Rumble 2020 celebration. It's a review, but it's a celebration for our boy, Drew McIntyre. Rarely does the Royal Rumble actually feel like it's kind of what it's chalked up to be, which is like some random guy is going to come out at a random spot and there's going to be all these other spot fests, but usually that up-and-comer will point at the sign. A lot of the times it's telling a different story. But that's all blah, 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 blah. I'm going to talk about my Royal Rumble 2020 experience, which I had a group of friends come over for like a party gathering. I don't know why the Royal Rumble for me has become like one of the biggest party WrestleMania 2. Just it's a good reason to have friends over because my girlfriend knows a bunch of people who are used to or are into wrestling, and we all culminate together and drink too much, and we have drinking games. It's super fun. But not talking about that today. I'm talking about the card itself, talking about the winners, the losers, everything else about it that has people freaking out online. McIntyre was the biggest thing, though, for me. But we'll get to that. Talking about the pre-show, we got Andrade and Humberto Carrillo. I feel like I say his name wrong every time. Again, same shtick that I said in the past couple pay-per-view reviews. I'm caught up on WWE, but I'm not well-versed anymore. I'm like watching it through cell phone clips and like social media, and I'm a couple times, like last Monday, I sat down and we watched all of Raw. I do that sometimes, but and I fall asleep to it on Hulu a lot. Like I'm caught up, but like I'm not well versed. Humberto Carrillo is someone I don't fucking know. Andrade won. He didn't even cheat. Won clean. I'm okay with that. That was my prediction. Shorty G fought Sheamus. Sheamus won. Also my prediction. I'm sorry for Chad Gable, but Sheamus came back from a pretty long injury, and it would have been really deflating if he just lost after all that. He just fights it's sad that he's in the pre-show, but then he just loses a pre-show match. I'd feel worse for him. Shorty G ain't doing shit. After that, we got Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere. This was a fun spot match. Basically, it ended about how you think you would. Baron Corbin won last, so we got to have that 50-50 booking. All his boys came out, kind of just relayed the same story that, hey, Roman Reigns got some backup on his team. He's the locker room leader. He's got just as big as clout as King Corbin. King Corbin, at the end of the day, just can't get the job done. There was a lot of table spots in this match, too. They went through. Like, they were literally just going down the fucking worldwide announce table line, just fucking Funaki's over here like, whoa, what the fuck? I really enjoyed some aspects to the match. And when Dolph and, Rude came out, I wish Royal Rumble these guys had more to do? Yes, but at least they're on the card. They're doing stuff with kind of like the main event feud on SmackDown right now. So that's what's going on there. After that, we're going to just talk about the Women's Royal Rumble match, the third one ever. Asuka, I loved that year when she won. I loved when Becky won. This year, I like the whole baseball ramp thing. I like how they kind of emerged, but the camera's not really like doing that. It's kind of just like, bam, this person's here. Bianca Belair, I'm, again, not a big NXT guy, but I watch it when I watch it. Fucking kicked ass in this match. Alexa Bliss and her were number 1 and 2. We had a lot of like really big things happening in this match. We had Beth Phoenix come out and make probably like the closest, and you've already seen it probably, but spoilers for later if you didn't already know. Of course you do. Edge came back and Beth Phoenix both had these amazing nights. I'm sure it was not like that a year ago, I can guarantee, but it was really fun to see those two. But Beth Phoenix got this bloody fucking mop in the back of her head. Bianca Belair, I think, got a new record for like most female eliminations. Naomi not only returned, but she did the whole Kofi thing on the outside, and then she got back in by making a bridge over the announce table. That was cool. I liked that. That's cool. What were some other things? No Sasha Banks. I don't know if her injury is actually real. It can't. I don't understand WWE and Sasha Banks' relationship right now. I'm not going to pretend to. Other than that, you know, Charlotte came out and kind of like strong-armed the ending there. Shayna Baszler was my pick to win. She unfortunately did not. I thought it made more sense because now I think someone's going to take Bayley's title, maybe Sasha, and then it'll be a triple threat with Charlotte. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing at this point, but I think the Shayna Baszler thing was going to happen. I'm sorry for that light. Was going to happen regardless. And I felt like that one needed the Rumble match, but I guess they're not doing that. I mean, I'm just as down if they give Shayna Baszler this, like, Trail of Destruction story on Raw hereafter, but we'll see. There was no sign of her on Monday, just saying. But that's what happened. Those are some of the highlights. There was a bunch of other shit. There was Santina. That was dumb and cringy. I hated that. Like, they just eliminate him right away. You didn't need to have him do this whole skit with the Cobra. That was so fucking cringy at this social gathering I was watching. A bunch of people don't know wrestling, and they have to see Santina Cobra herself out of the ring. Oh, my fucking God. After that, I'm losing my breath talking about the Royal Rumble, man. After that, which, by the way, Charlotte won. I don't hate it, but I'm just kind of about it. Like, usually what happens when Charlotte wins, I'm like, okay, but, like, they just get me to, like, not get mad about it. They give her just enough time between championships. Then they got Bayley versus Lacey Evans. This was probably the weakest match on the card. Lacey lost. Kind of exactly what you'd expect. And when this card is already predictable as hell, aside from the Rumble winners, of course, aside from that, like, I predicted every match. Yeah, every match. Speaking of matches, after that we got Bray Wyatt, The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan, and I do love this rivalry. It's kind of spotty. I don't like WWE's pacing, even when they do have good storylines, but what happened here with The Fiend and Daniel Bryan, you know, this is one of my favorite matches in previous years. I love Daniel Bryan. I love Bray Wyatt, and then they had this amazing match at Royal Rumble a couple years ago. It was awesome. Now, they got this whole new match with The Fiend, and it kind of felt like The Fiend's first, like, debut match where he's not, like, the Fiend character. They kind of just had a normal wrestling match during the middle of it. It was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, they're doing, like, they're, like, The Fiend's not just tearing them up, or not, they're not doing story bits. So, you know, I liked it. The fact that the Fiend was competed against at all, like, competitively, like, makes Daniel look good, even though he soundly lost in the end. I don't know if I could have booked it a better way. I don't think there was like there's not an ending. This was supposed to be the end, and I think we got a good ending. And then we got Becky versus Asuka. I also love this rivalry. Becky finally defeats Asuka, and, you know, that's kind of the whole shtick, that she doesn't know she can beat Asuka, and she's like really, really, like, they really hyped up Asuka for this fight, and I hate the fact that it's not a big deal when you beat Asuka nowadays, but it's not a big deal. She tapped her out. Becky Lynch, you know, needs champion heading into Mania. Yeah, someone's got to bite the dust, and it was a tag team competitor, so I think they did good booking, all things considering. I really did like the match, though. I think towards the end there with the mist and kind of how they did shades of how Asuka won last year. I loved all that. I thought that was, great matchmaking bullshit. Following that, we got the men's Royal Rumble match, and let's talk about some of the boys' surprise entrances. We got MVP coming out of nowhere. We got no CM Punk. There was no Ruby Riott, no Nia Jax, no Ronda Rousey, no Cain Velasquez, no Tyson Fury. None of these bullshit motherfuckers. But we had MVP. We had Shelton Benjamin. And then guess what? We had Brock Lesnar, the champion, just destroying the first half. And now a bunch of the booking decisions, like with Ricochet and Drew, it kind of all finally paid off here. It kind of mismatched a bunch of things I don't like about Brock and his current bullshit in general. And I was like, oh, now it all, no, I should shut up. They're doing storytelling. But I enjoyed this destruction of Brock Lesnar at this point in the match where they're kick him in the fucking dick, Claymore over the rope. That was one of the best moments all night. The crowd went ballistic. Thank you, Drew chants. So Drew was over before he even won the match. So this was the point of having Lesnar in there to begin with. I don't know if it deserved to take up, like, you could have eliminated like 8 guys. And then my plan was for Kofi to get the W on Brock, but I guess they don't give a shit about that. They're telling this other story, and it was whatever. Fine. Tell your other story. It's just as good, I guess. But God damn it, I just want my booking things to happen because I'm a wrestling fan and I suck. Other than that, you had, what were some standouts, man? You had Randy Orton come out, and towards the end there, you're like Samoa Joe and fucking, why am I forgetting his name? Oh my God, I'm forgetting his name during my review. Aleister Black, who I love, I can't remember his name. And once you got to that point in the match, you were like, oh God, where's CM Punk and all these guys? And you're like, okay, Seth Rollins comes out, he hijacks the match. Like, really good, like, fun stuff. And then towards the end, oh, yeah, I should probably talk about Edge returned in the number 21 slot. Super interesting. And then Roman got out there, and you're like, okay, now we're getting in the bottom of it. And then Rated RKO came back just for a little bit. Randy, they worked together, and then Randy tried to RKO him, but Edge caught him, and then Edge tossed him out, which the way they followed this up on Monday, I'm starting to assume this is the match. This is what they're doing. Beautiful. Awesome. This is a great way to start that. I love that. I think that's really cool what they're doing with that. There's not a whole lot better ways to have Edge come back. Randy's still good. They have history. They, like, great. And the way that it went on Monday, I assume that their Edge isn't going to, like, half-ass, like, he's going to show up for the next pay-per-view. He's not going to Goldberg his ass into this rivalry. He's going to show up every week, and they hit the ground running on the story already. I love that. But then we get the final couple. We get Drew, Edge, and your boy Roman. And then it's just Roman and Drew. And at this point, everyone's rooting for Drew fucking McIntyre. But, like, a part of you is like, it's going to be Roman. And then, what do you know? There's a Claymore. Roman Reigns is sent out of the ring. And we got Drew McIntyre looking like a Greek god firing up at the WrestleMania sign, the pirate sign that he looks so natural in front of. I loved it, man. I loved it. One of the I always talk about the few moments a year that makes it worth being a wrestling fan, and this was one of them. I'm not even like the big Drew McIntyre stan. I didn't like watch him down NXT, and then like I saw him like rise up out of the depths and like have this big return. And he's fucking jacked now all of a sudden. And then I was pulling for him back in the day in his first run. No, I liked him when he like came back around, and I got behind him. Like, I never was a super fan of his character. I'm still not a big fan of his character, but I think he's got the ropes, and as long as he has a good story going forward and has just something to work with, anything, I think he is good enough to make it work, and that's all it really takes to make a star. I hope they made one here tonight on Royal Rumble 2020, man. The new generation, another one already, kicking ass, and Drew McIntyre's at the forefront. So that was Royal Rumble 2020. I'd give it like a B. Yeah, a good B. Sure, Lacey and some other matches are dumb, but the Rumble's always fun. I intend to watch all the Royal Rumbles and WrestleManias one day, but I don't know if I'm going to redo videos on them. It feels weird if I'm already doing it, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that's what I thought of Royal Rumble 2020. Let me know what you thought down below. I have been talking for too long and I need some water. I'll see you guys next time, and with that, I leave you.